How's it going, friends? Reckless Yuki here. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I spent about 7 hours of mine playing Tom Clancy's Division for the open beta that was recently available for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, as well as the PC. And from that, I was able to capture and record some 4K footage at 30 frames per second of the game at ultra settings. So if you're curious about looking what the game looks like on the PC at those settings, definitely check the link down in the description below. Or if you just go to my videos and see the one that was uploaded previous to this, you'll see that it is uploaded there. But anyways, from that video, I got a few comments asking me what I thought of the beta and do I think it's worth the money. So that's what we're going to explore in this video, just trying to talk about the game off the top of my head for your guys' enjoyment, as well as just to inform you what I thought of the game. Now, I'm not sure what good my opinion is, because usually when I do game reviews, or if I think of trying to do a game review, I kind of handle it like a go, no-go gauge, where it's either fits or doesn't fit with my sort of interest. And this one is kind of tough to say, because the beta, when it was a beta, but it felt very limited as far as what you could do. And from what I saw of the game, it was very intriguing, and it was definitely a lot of fun. I definitely didn't feel that I was grinding during the 7 hours I was playing, and I definitely had a lot of fun playing it. But I kind of am hesitant to recommend it to anyone. So if you haven't purchased the game, or if you haven't pre-ordered it, wait for an actual opinion from idiots like me who already pre-ordered it to kind of give you guys an opinion as far as if it's worth your time and effort. Now, even though if like Steam offers you a refund after 2 hours of gameplay, or as long as you didn't play the game for 2 hours, you can still get a refund. But I feel that that's not long enough to really formulate an opinion, because even though I only played it for 7 hours, or I did play it for 7 hours, I still feel that I didn't really get the full depth and the grasp of what the game will really have to offer, and no one really will until the game is fully released. Now, what they did offer was a few missions that you could go on, which basically you just go on the trek to kind of try to get a home base set up. So the game basically takes place in New York. A big virus came through and wiped out pretty much everyone. The people who did escape did. People are still kind of waiting in line to try to escape, but then some people kind of just shacked up in their homes and yell at you from their windows above, and they're just kind of staying there to ride it out. Now, there are some factions and some kind of really interesting groups of vandals and exterminators who are basically trying to wipe out the virus, or basically take advantage of the city in its crippled state. And you're there to try to regain control of the city as some sort of special military operative person. And when you first arrive there, you have to take control, I guess, of the library is what it was called, or whatever kind of home base that is set up, so that you can kind of establish a home kind of network as far as where you can kind of take out the missions, as I drop my recorder, and go about the city to try to reclaim it to I guess save the day is the whole premise of the game. And there's also an area within the game called the Dark Zone, which is more of a multiplayer aspect, where it will be the PvP area. And you can level up in the regular areas and not really have to worry about it if you want to do just a single player mode and just enjoy the game. But if you want to kind of take part in killing other people for a whole different set of glory and a different set of weapons that will be better than the ones that you would get in the normal mode, then that's where the Dark Zone is. The Dark Zone is kind of a hectic place that takes a lot of things from DayZ as well as Rust, and you can't really trust anyone in it. So as far as the gameplay of the game, the only comments I have to say as far as the negatives I had of the game was that the sensitivity of the mouse was really too high. I had to set the sensitivity in-game all the way down to 0, and I had my mouse sensitivity set to 800 DPI. So even with that, I still felt it was a little bit too fast for me, but I just kind of got used to it, and it kind of felt a little bit too twitchy. But that's just what I was left with. And I didn't really want to set my mouse down to 400 DPI, even though that's probably what I'll do when the actual game comes out. But it will be kind of nice to have better control over the mouse sensitivity in the game. And as far as like the run and gun style of kind of taking cover and ducking behind things, I mean, that's fine. That's just the type of gameplay it is. There weren't any other too many gripes as far as the game mechanics I could see, but there were some gripes as far as things in the game that just seemed a little bit funny as far as how things went and how things played. And I hope like all the bugs just kind of get worked out, at least with it before the release of the official game, but maybe soon after the release. Because when I was playing the game with one of my friends, we kind of I was already kind of leveled up, and he was still kind of leveling up, and he joined my game. And when we went into the Dark Zone together, We had the issue where he couldn't access the extraction points, and he couldn't extract any of the weapons that he got from the Dark Zone. So just some things there that they still need to work out as far as the kinks, but I mean, it's the beta, so it's kind of expected there to be kinks. And as far as my time in the Dark Zone is definitely full of dicks. Like, there's a lot of people who love to troll, and a lot of trollish people, which is fine, and that's what you could expect from a game like this. But it would be kind of cool to see them kind of implement some more, I guess, restrictions as far as how people play in the Dark Zone, because the way that I've seen it go is that as you enter the Dark Zone as a lone wolf, depending on the type of server you get connected to within the Dark Zone, you could engage people who are more of a good character basis, who just want to help you out and all, you know, work in harmony trying to take over the city, while you have some people who just want to try to create as much havoc as possible and much chaos. And then you have, you know, you have to have like your different groups. So you have a group of people trying to, you know, be the good guys, and then a group of people trying to be the bad guys, and then they'll eventually just kind of clash. But then once you have a group that outnumbers the other group, well, that group is definitely going to win, because as you team up and group up, you could do things like heal other players, heal people within your group. So if you have a group of rogues who are going off and trying to kill anyone who's just lone wolfing it, trying to play the game in the Dark Zone, like, the group of dicks are just going to overwhelm that person, where they're going to get very frustrated and just try to leave, and they just kind of go around and keep trolling people and whatnot. It's pretty hectic as far as how it goes. So it'd be kind of cool if you get thrown as a rogue, that you have more limitations put on you, so that you don't have the effective ability of just being a complete dick to random people, or being that dickheadish kind of player will definitely be more of a challenge, so it'll be more rewarding to you anyway. At least those were my opinions, to try to prevent people from getting kind of, I guess, unattracted to the game, because the game really, I feel, relies on the multiplayer basis, and if the game isn't fun for the majority of people, they're going to leave, and then there's not really going to be very many people on the game to begin with, and that could just cause the game to basically die off. At least that's my opinions of it. So there just needs to be some balancing between the rogue players as well as the good players, and if you are a player who possibly doesn't go rogue very often, maybe you will get some sort of good guy bonuses to try to be that good player. At least try to reward the good players from playing as a good person, because if you don't go rogue and kill people for their loot, it's kind of tough to gain the prestige that you would in the game, because when you're in the Dark Zones, you could raise level as well as lower level. So if you just run into a lobby with a bunch of dicks, they can cause you to lower your dark area level, and that could be very frustrating, especially if you're trying to level up your character. And, you know, everyone who plays these sort of games don't want to kind of decrease in level. They always want to progress and feel a sense of accomplishment, not the sense of having everything that you worked for however many hours you did just completely stripped away from you, because some people are just being dicks. And that seems to be the recurring theme of this video so far, as far as me talking about the Dark Zone, is just dicks. And one instance that I seen, as far as something that I thought was kind of funny, my friend thought it was absolutely like horrible. He hated it. He was so angry. But me and him were in the Dark Zone, and we're kind of found some group of characters who were just, you know, kind of playing the game, and we're in an extraction point. And we were trying to extract our stuff onto a helicopter, but only 4 people at a time can extract their goods onto the helicopter. These group of people did extract, and then we thought, oh, well, I guess we'll just wait for the next helicopter. So then these group of guys basically stuck around and said, hey, we'll help you out. We'll protect you while the chopper comes, so you guys can extract your stuff as well. And then, you know, everyone will have a happy day, and it'll be pretty cool. And I thought, like, awesome, these guys are awesome. It's some good teamwork. Well, as we were sitting there in cover, just kind of waiting for the next chopper to come about, the next chopper did finally come, and me and my friend ran up there to kind of put our stuff there. And as we did that, one of the other guys who was there to help protect us chucked a grenade in our direction, blew us up, and then just took our stuff as they laughed at us. And as you're sitting there dying, you can hear everything that they're saying to you. So it's definitely a like rage-inducing incident that if you didn't have a tough skin in the game, you could really let it get to you where you wouldn't want to play anymore. Now, I thought it was pretty funny because it was something that I haven't seen yet, but I'm sure that that kind of tactic is going to get old eventually. So that's kind of why I kind of went on this tangent, as far as, you know, having the good, kind of like the good guy players having a little bit more of advantage than the players that like to go rogue constantly. So, I mean, those are just my 2 cents on the game as far as my opinions and quick thoughts of it as far as what I've experienced through the beta. And I think that's basically it that I have to talk about in this video. I mean, like I said, it's just the beta, so no one really knows exactly what the full game has in store for us or how the full game is going to play out. I really hope it's not very monotonous and it's not very repetitive as far as the missions, and hope it doesn't kind of drag on. And I hope it doesn't actually feel like a grind. Once a game starts feeling like a grind, that's when I kind of get turned off from it. But from the 7 hours I played, it didn't. So I am crossing my fingers, hoping that my money was well spent when I made this pre-order. And if it wasn't, you'll definitely hear it from me in a future video after the game does come out, as far as my kind of more formulated opinions on it as I'm able to play the full release of the game. So anyways, let me know what you think of this video. If I went on too much of a tangent or rant, these are not really my forte when it comes to talking about games or kind of giving my opinions, but let me know, like, if you liked it, if you disliked it. Yeah, I mean, feedback is always great to help me improve my videos and help me improve the content that you guys came here to subscribe and, I guess, watch. Anyways, so that's it. Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you guys again in the next one, all right? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.